The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, hello there. Welcome to Creative Emotions. I am your host, Vaquita Q, and I want to welcome you here. Thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. What you can expect here is motivation, encouragement, information, inspiration, empowerment, transparency, and these good vibes, okay? And ain't nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about the good vibes. If you join it, make sure you hit that share button. Share it right now. Share it with your peeps. We're going to talk about something that's very, very important, okay? So I want to make a couple of announcements. I Speak Life Empowerment Conference is coming up. I'm so excited. It's going to be Saturday, January 10th, 2026, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will be vendors there. We're going to have lunch, dynamic speakers, worship. I have Songbird Cree coming to bless us with a beautiful song. With beautiful worship, shall I say, and poetry. We can't forget we got a little poetry, sprinkled in there. Tickets are on sale right now. I have a Black Friday sale until Friday. They are $50 with $10 off. So go ahead and get your tickets. If you have not, you can get those on Eventbrite. All you have to do is put in I Speak Life Empowerment Conference, and those will pop right up. Go to Eventbrite and put in I Speak Life Conference. If you want to be a sponsor for this event, get your name mentioned throughout the event, you are more than welcome to reach me at www.thecreativeemotions.com. On there, you can also purchase your book of I Want My Own Husband, Mindset and Standards on Marriage, because it is a beautiful, beautiful thing, okay? Just to be able to know yourself, love yourself, and be able to share your life with somebody else. And so that book is a diamond. And it's holiday season, so make sure you get one and be able to share it, because that's what it's for. Communication is key. So I do have a special guest in here today. I want to welcome Kennedy Like. What's up? It's my special guest.
Good evening, sister. How are you today?
I'm awesome.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on this Wednesday, December 3rd. I appreciate being here, talking about the topic of communication. But if you don't mind, I'll give myself a plug.
Sure.
Welcome to my audience on This Is What We Do. I'm sharing this on the platforms that I do my show every Sunday at 4 o'clock in the same studio. It's called This Is What We Do. So welcome that audience. I'm introducing you to a new podcaster. She's a partner of mine. She's the reason why I'm in the studio. She was here before I was here. She told me about the great Miles Dixon, who is our proprietor. But thank you for having me here today. This is not my first appearance. This is not my last appearance. And I appreciate being here. This is what we do.
Oh, Lord.
Right on.
Shout out to This Is What We Do.
Shout out.
Shout out to them. So, communication is key. Nobody can read your mind. That is what we're going to talk about today, okay? So make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. This is something to talk about. Again, nobody can read your mind. So communication, I don't want to just talk about communication, but I want to talk about effective communication. It's the process of exchanging information, thoughts, and emotions so the message is received and understood with clarity and purpose, okay? So we're going to talk about effective communication. And we can talk about that. What's wrong? Table about to fall?
I don't know.
You can hear it clicking.
Table about to fall down. But we're going to talk about effective communication, because that is what's important. Shout out to those watching on Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to those who share the platform, because we're gonna talk about it. Sir.
Yes,
effective
ma'am.
Communication.
I am here. I'm just looking to see all the good people that are watching this show. Effective communication. That's important. That's how the human beings, that's how we socialize through communication. That's how we get points across. That's how we learn.
Yeah.
That's how we live, right?
It's definitely important.
So communication can be a broad subject. I know I've seen your notes. So you're going to talk about a few final points and talking about communication. I'm here to expound and to help you out.
Yeah,
I consider myself to be somewhat of a communicator, being that I'm a podcaster. Coming up on my fourth year.
Fourth year
Give this month.
Yeah, me too.
4 years, man. Being consistent.
Too. Yeah.
All right. Shout out to this sister. How long have you been doing it?
Yeah,
about 4 years. Yeah, good job.
Yeah. It's a great tool, because you can go back and look at your work, look at all of the people you've touched, all of the the guests and things of that nature is really it's a good thing. So different types of communication. We can talk about verbal, nonverbal, visual, and written.
Yes.
And some of those body cues can let somebody know off rip how they gonna be communicating.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about some barriers because you talk about the bad and you bring in the good. Again, shout out to everybody that's watching YouTube and Facebook. We're talking about communication is key.
Can I give a shout out to somebody who's watching? Jean Kennedy. She's watching.
Hey, Jean.
Shout out to Jean. Yes. This is a live call-in show, 810-560-0658. If you want to call in and talk about the spectacular conversation that Ms. Vaquita Q is going to start. Go ahead.
Q. So we will talk about a couple of communication barriers. We can bring up the issues and then bring the solutions because I'm solution based. But language, we'll talk about language, acronyms, memes, jargon that can create a lot of misunderstandings. I know you ask a lot of questions about what that mean and what that mean. Nowadays, everybody asking, what does that mean? When it comes to memes, when it comes to shorthand text messages, if you have teenagers or young adults, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I have to Google a lot of it. And so there are some communication barriers, again, when it comes to your different ages, professionalism, mindsets, perceptions, and things of that nature. Emotional. A lot of times they say men and women are emotional. And so our communication can be different. Did you say amen?
No. I said women.
Did you say amen?
No, I said women.
Oh, women can be emotional?
Yeah.
No, I think it is. I think it's both. Men, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I feel like y'all emotional too.
We can be sometimes. What you think, Miles?
No.
He said straight up no.
Not as emotional. The only way we become emotional is if it become a nagging situation.
Right. So she said emotional. She said men can be emotional. She said not as emotional. So men can be emotional. He just said not as emotional.
So when we're talking about communication, so women want a little bit more detail. Y'all kind of get to the meat and bones sometimes. But when we get to the meat and bones, that's a different story. But men and women are emotional. We're talking about communication. Is you checking yourself out?
I'm gonna make sure my tie's straight. Make sure everybody see this nice Brooks Brothers tie I got on right here with the Brooks Brothers suit.
We're talking about communication. Physical.
Right there.
Being physical. So we can be too loud, touching people when you speak. I remember I used to talk with my hands.
You told me that.
And I was talking to my dad one time and I'm hitting him like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like hitting him. He turned around like, stop hitting me.
Yeah, we have a mutual acquaintance that does that a lot.
Yeah.
Talking. Yeah, he puts his hands on people quite a bit when he's talking. I don't think he recognizes what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A lot of people might not know, but that is a form of communication. And after my dad did that to me, I actually noticed how irritating it is. And so I stopped.
No, he did it back?
I stopped. No, other people was doing it. I didn't realize it. You touching when you laughing and, hitting people and
just putting your hands on people,
Yeah, just touching people is too much. Communication differences as far as cultural. Different perceptions and assumptions based on beliefs. So you got some people believe certain things, and their communication comes across that way. That's just a whole different situation, okay? When you talk about cultural differences and beliefs and communication, a lot of people can be a little on the aggressive side, but it is their communication, which takes me to the different communication styles that we have. And this is something to really ask yourself these questions, you know, like what type of communication style do you have? So you have an assertive, you know, being assertive is confident and respectful, promotes healthy communication, direct, honest communication, sometimes misinterpreted as aggressive. That is aggressive. You have passive, which is not speaking up. You have passive aggressive, which is you not speaking on anything, but you show it in your attitude. So you come back with an attitude, but you don't state that you have a problem. And aggressive is just driven by anger and judgment, and it creates a hostile work environment. So can you say what type of communication style you think you have?
I mean, to be honest, we had a pre podcast meeting, and you brought it to my attention. I read passive aggressive, and I think sometimes I can be that way. Can I do a shout out right quick to Marnice Henning? She's watching. Carissa Carter says, "Hey family, straight out of Flint Town."
Hey.
And yeah, so I guess I have different styles of communicating. I guess depends on the situation. I can be, since this is transparency.
For sure, transparency.
I can say a lot of times I'm uncomfortable with making other people uncomfortable. And that leads me to when someone asks me if they offended me or something, a lot of times like, no, that's okay, that's okay. And then learning what passive aggressive, what the definition was, I think sometimes I can show it, because even though I can say, hey, I'm okay, sometimes I can show it in my face, my countenance.
Yes.
A lot of times tells the story, you know, and so, hey, and I don't think that's passive aggressive. I just think it just makes me uncomfortable to make other people uncomfortable, because I've had that situation kind of continuously in my life. Okay. Shout out to Deshaun Marche.
Hey,
Mystery Box Bingo on Sundays, Southwest Detroit. Check him out and give a call. Call in, Greg, 810-560-0658, and promote your show. But anyway, so I have several different types of communication, but I think my type of communication, I have more of a direct form of communication, I would think. I would like to say that, but I don't know if that's the case.
No, it's not.
What do you think it is then? Since you want to tell me what it is.
You were right. You are a right assessment about yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Miles?
I'm very direct in a sense, and sometimes I can be very abrupt.
Okay.
And very aggressive, because I spent majority of my life being non-aggressive, and it never got me nowhere.
So you were passive.
No, I wasn't passive. I didn't care.
Oh, you saying you spent most of your life being aggressive?
Yeah, I spent majority of my life being non-aggressive.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and then when people say, "Well, what do you think?" They don't really want to know what I think. So
I feel the same with Miles. I think me and Miles a lot to be being, you know, I've known Miles for a couple of years. I think me and Miles have a lot of similarities, a lot of characteristics. I don't know if it's our Scorpio side.
you a Scorpio?
Oh, Lord,
for sure.
We is not about to get into that.
You a Scorpio?
But I'm an October Scorpio.
Oh, yeah, dope.
Talk
It's still
about,
dope. It's still dope, though.
That's still, hey, I appreciate that.
It's still dope.
We're talking about communication styles. So if you are listening and you want to just be transparent, be in a moment of transparency, you can give us a call here at 810-560-0658.
Can you go over those styles of communication again?
Assertive, passive, aggressive, and passive aggressive.
Okay.
And I would say that I'm assertive. I would say that I am direct, and my directness can come across as aggressive because people are not. I think people kind of like wrap things up in a bow, and I do think about people's feelings, but I will feel some type of way if I'm not true to myself. And I feel like you should come first. You should come first with being able to express yourself and being able to get it out. A lot of, something happened with one of my coworkers, and I told her, deal with it right now, because if you get in the car, you're going to go there in your mind. This is what we do as women. I don't know if men do that. You act, you don't act, and then you think about it later, and you think about it way too much, and then it spills over, and you're still mad about it the next day. And so I'm not doing that to myself.
I've done that quite a bit, yeah. But I mean, that's just due to because I don't want to come off as aggressive communicating. Because at that time, if I deal with it, it's going to come off I know it's going to come off rude because my true feelings are going to come out, and a couple of words may come out that I may regret. So and it's just an explanation for myself. A lot of times I may just push it to the side or bottle it up because I don't want to come off as being rude because how it made me feel. And I know it makes, and then it may be a rage in me.
Yeah.
So instead of, coming off as rude or aggressive, I will just kind of hold on to it. Yeah, and then I would deal with it in my mind as I'm riding in the car and things of that nature. Say I should have said this and things of that nature.
I think that's torture a little bit. That's turmoil. It's like I would rather it's not mine to carry. Like if somebody make you feel some type of way, they may not know it. And we're talking about communication. If you're just joining, we're talking about communication being the key because nobody can read your mind. And so that is what we're talking about today. Communication is very, very important. I feel like if you have issues, I feel like a lot of things will be squashed if we have conversations. Not do things on Facebook, not, throw out subliminals, not go to other people about other people, but go to the person that you have the issue with or a person that made you feel away. I used to do that. I used to hold things and like, oh, well, maybe I'll wait because I do. I think before I talk. She said I need to think about it later.
Yeah, Carissa Carter says, you have a couple people responding. Carissa Carter says, I think it's being humble. Deshawn Marche said, appreciate you. Carissa Carter says, I need to think about it. And then she said, let it cook.
Let it cook?
Yeah, so I don't know what that means. To simmer, things of that nature. Call in, Carissa, 810-560-0658. Straight from Flint Town. I think you might be at work. I think she works second shift. But give her a call, 810-560-0658. Or Greg Johns Nash, a.k.a. Deshawn Marche, please call in. We'd love to have you call.
But letting it cook, and it's just my opinion. You have your own opinion.
Simmer,
your way.
Right.
You letting it simmer, you can add a couple ingredients to the pot that wasn't originally there, right? And when you go home and you let this stuff fester, it takes away from your joy. It takes away from your peace. It takes away from you being present in your now. Because if something happens at work and then you bring it at home, and you're going to put that on everybody that's around you. You can do it unknowingly. And so being able to lovingly tell a person, hey, that wasn't nice, or that made me feel some type of way, or just deal with things. It's not always bad. Sometimes it is holding your friend accountable, or, just talking about things versus making sideways comments, but you really want to tell them what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we got a caller. I got my earbuds on.
Oh, be quiet.
Caller, this is Creative Emotions, hosted by Q. Who's calling?
This is Carissa.
Yes,
Hi,
straight
Carissa.
from Flint Town.
Hi, family.
What's
Hi,
up,
family.
sis?
I wanted to say, first, I love y'all. And I
love
appreciate
you.
this communication podcast because I find communication hard for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate a lot to Kennedy because more so it's like, let me cook, let me go home and think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to come off because I have flew off the handle and it was like I didn't have to do all that.
Wow.
It was unnecessary. And if I come back later,
Okay.
I'm a little more humble and I have thought it through.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think I have thought it through. Not to say that when I do deal with it, I'm not like still harsh because I get that still, but it's like I'm trying to come off a little bit gentle because I do care about other people's feelings and I do care about hurting somebody. I don't want to hurt anybody. Communication is very, very, very important, but it's like, it's a time and a place. Like I need a minute first and then we can talk.
Yeah.
And then we can go, you know what I'm saying? But don't come at me hot. Because then if you hot and I'm hot.
No, that's
It's a heat wave.
Yeah, like we gonna both be hot and then it's gonna be that and we'll never talk to each other again. And I don't never want that.
Yes, because people are dropping people like flies. Like you cannot have a disagreement nowadays because they will block you, take you off Facebook, take your number out their phone. It's
I would probably do that. Like I need to cook for a minute. Like I need a minute. I can't react right now. I need to think about it. Give me tomorrow. Yeah. And then we'll get to it. But that doesn't translate well in the world that we are in. I'll say that.
That is true.
Because it can come off as weakness.
That's true.
Or meekness or something like that. But I tell people all the time, I will stand on this table. I just don't need to.
Yeah, and
I just don't need to.
I can take that. I can understand that from a woman like Carissa because we both know her. She has such a nice spirit and things of that nature. And I can only imagine, we know her from the conferences and being a conference coordinator and being a instructor and dealing with so many people. I can imagine some people make you mad, but she never shows her frustrations. I've never seen her fly off the handle. But that doesn't mean it doesn't upset you.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Exactly. I gotta let it cook. I learned a lot, like Zig Ziglar, Dale Carnegie. All those
go
things
ahead.
have helped
Come
me.
on with
Those
it.
have helped me. Like I have to read and I have to stay in it because you have to understand different people's personalities to actually communicate with them, and everybody doesn't have that.
That is so
you
true.
threw out some names: Zig Ziglar, Grant Cardone. Check out. I mean, check out Grant Cardone. That's what I mean. You said Zig Ziglar. What's
All of them. They're my favorite. Napoleon Hill. I mean, all of them, baby.
Yeah, Grant Cardone and Les Brown.
That'll keep you. You know, I done sent you a few videos. It'll keep you in a good mental space. Like you are in control of this. I tell everybody, we all have our own life, our own world going on, and people just add to that, right? I am a guest in your world. And so what I chose, and this is just a part of my growth, is I don't want to go home uncomfortable. And if somebody made me uncomfortable or if something happened, I would prefer to deal with it right then and there because I know my heart. The Bible says out of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so if what will come out of your heart initially is anger or you're going to cuss somebody out, that means it's a heart issue that we have to deal with. That's first and foremost. Deal with the heart, and whatever is in your heart, that will control what comes out of your mouth. And so I'll make sure I'm not going to cuss nobody out. I ain't going crazy. I'm not doing all of that. But again, my assertiveness will come off kind of harsh to people that are not used to direct communication.
Yeah, and we can go a little deeper in that and talk about like a lot of the angry black women in spaces and stuff like that. When you're being assertive, it comes off as like an attitude or a problem or you know what I'm saying. And so like you gotta navigate that too. So it's like so many levels to piling on how you react to certain situations and who you dealing with. That comes into factor. Like you have to pay attention to all of those things.
That is
true. That's why I need to cook. I need to cook. I gotta cook. I gotta see who I'm dealing with.
I support you on that. I will say this when it comes to Vaquita because she says she's out of the heart, the mouth speaks. The mouth will speak. You know, so what you're saying is that takes work. So obviously you have done some work. Everyone hasn't done. Everyone hasn't done that work. So someone like me and myself, and I'm going to include Carissa, and I'm speaking for you. And forgive me if I'm wrong. Maybe we haven't done that work to the point where somebody does something to us that doesn't make us want to fly off the handle. So therefore, we suppress what that is because we know what it can be.
Yeah, for sure, right? For sure. It take work, like I said, and I said this part in my journey, right? I was sure to say that because I don't believe that we are on the same journey. We are at different parts on our journey, and we can drop seeds, and we can take people along. You know, you drop a seed and somebody else water it, but God ultimately brings the increase. And so that's one thing I don't never try to force any change or anybody. All I can do, if it's an influence, it's an influence. But I do know that we have the power, not the people outside, not this outside realm. And that's how we should move. And so having effective communication, I believe it start with the heart. So thank you so much, Carissa. Thank you for calling in.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
I got one more thing I want to say. I just got to add this too. The reason why I feel like that is because I have been on the receiving end of somebody always flying off the handle. Always, and they're wrong, and they hurt me.
Okay.
To the point, and I love these people, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of people that just fly off, and it's like you didn't even think about that. You didn't consider what was going on or anything like that. And so, like, for me, I know people that I love that do this, and I don't want to be like them.
You don't want to be that person.
So I need to think about it. I got to cook, and like I don't want to hurt anyone the way that they hurt me.
But have you ever done that though?
No. Well, yeah. I don't want to admit that, but I have, and I felt bad afterwards because I didn't mean to take it there.
I got you.
It could have been a conversation, and it didn't need to be me all upset and hot like that.
I got you.
So before you go, I want to give a shout out to you about this conference that's coming up.
She got her ticket.
What's the name of the conference?
I Speak Life. Empowerment Conference. Yes.
So Carissa will be driving all the way down from Flint Town to this conference on January 10th. All right. So all those who are viewing and watching, follow Carissa's lead. Purchase those tickets. They're on sale this week.
Yes.
So please get your ticket, and it's on sale till Friday, 2 days from now. But get your ticket. Support this. You love a young lady in her journey, because she's gonna be talking about communication, I imagine.
Oh, for sure.
I second that. And
Support.
I love y'all.
Those in favor.
I love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Bye.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks, Carissa.
If you're just joining, we are talking about communication, effective communication being key, because nobody can read your mind. Nobody. So, you got to be careful who you bleed on to. Be careful who you bleed on. If a person didn't cut you, it's unfair to bleed on somebody that did not create the scar. And so we have to be mindful of that, and that should be an opportunity for people to stay silent, watch your actions. And so, communication is it's important, so we can be concise and clear about what we want. Women are very clear about a lot of things that they want.
Would you say that, Miles? Women are very clear?
No. Y'all are more vague than we are.
Yeah.
Vague?
Yeah, I mean, y'all say what y'all feel, thinking that y'all was precise on your communication, but y'all don't mean.
So you need some help in this conversation. So I would invite people to call in 810-560-0658. Please call in to support this woman, because she's talking about woman issues. Call in, Dorothy Jean Kennedy. I see you're watching. 810-560-0658. Please call in, because I know you have a lot to say.
So do you think women are clear and concise?
I'm going to agree with Miles. I don't think women are clear always. I think they, like Miles said, a lot of times, women talk about how they feel and things of that nature. Men are more, I would say, fact-based versus their feelings. And I think a lot of times feelings get in the way of communication, because women say, you made me feel this way and things of that nature. But I may have not said that. You just may not like the way I said it. And that made you feel. You can't discount what I said, but you can fall back on how it made you feel.
Okay. I think that's both, but okay. I receive.
Carissa Carter said men and women don't speak the same language. Gene Kennedy said, good job. Call in, Gene Kennedy, 810-560-0658.
Yeah.
Communication is important. Preparing ahead of time. What you want to talk about. Instead of going off of the moment. When you do that, you can get sidetracked, right? You can start going.
You're looking at me for a reason, huh?
Say the wrong thing.
You can say the wrong thing.
She looking at me for a reason.
But if you have it, if something is bothering you and you have something to talk about, I believe that that's a good time. In your job, in your relationships, I think it's a good time to prepare what you want to talk about. We're talking about effective communication. You say no?
I'll be very honest with you. When it comes to communication, Carissa said that men and women do not speak the same language.
Okay.
As Kennedy stated too, in the midst of things, especially to get heated, women will start to say, "Well, I feel like this, and you done," and you be
I like that voice.
Right. But
I feel.
But I'm a person like, I don't care how you feel.
Right on.
Let's get to answer the question.
Okay.
And they be like, well, no, and no to what?
How can you not talk about or answer a question with how you feel?
Well, because
how else can you?
Because it's not about how you feel when you're communicating. But if a thing, it need to be, it's a yes or a no. And a lot of times with women, it's not a yes or no.
If it's a question, then it should be a yes
so
or no.
I would agree with Miles on that, because it comes down to yes or no and things of that nature. A lot of times people, you ask, because I'm really big on that. If I ask you a question,
for sure.
and I really try to pin you down to like, what is a yes or no, so you go on, and then kind of go, because you can't answer a question with a question. A lot of times people answer questions with questions.
So maybe it's better, like I said, to prepare ahead of time. What you want to talk about?
It's hard to prepare when, again, men when we prepare for a conversation, right? And then women body languages are different from men.
Which goes to my next one, body cues.
So, but y'all have so many.
So if I'm like this, what that mean?
No, but y'all have so many.
Look at that head.
You like this, like state your case, but I don't care what you say. So when women are involved with body, y'all have the body cues of walking in the. If we walking in the conversation, mm-hmm. When walking to the dining room, y'all be lazy with it. All of a sudden, that peppy and stuff is not there. And we sit down, we just look, and we look at you. Because we waiting for the tears. We waiting for the emotional part, because that's what y'all gonna give us.
Oh, wow.
Y'all give us that first. Y'all give us the emotional side first.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, when I get upset, sometimes I laugh because it helps me.
But to your mate to know that you're laughing,
mm-hmm.
know that you laugh because that helped you. It's like, okay,
this ain't funny.
This ain't funny. and what are you like that with me for when this is a conversation? Mm-hmm. But you come in like, I'll be like, you know what?
There's a caller.
We got somebody calling in.
I think that's somebody from Auburn Hills.
Hello.
By way of Sumter County, Alabama.
Welcome to Creative Emotions. He trying to take over my show, but that ain't gonna happen. Who are we speaking with?
This is Jane Kennedy.
Hello, Aunt Jean.
Auntie Jane.
Hi. What are those men talking about?
Listen.
Women are the most effective communicators in the world.
Thank you.
This gonna turn to the battle of the sexes, is what it is.
No,
say what?
That's a fact. Because
that's a fact.
I said it. That's a fact.
That's
I
a
feel
fact.
like we are.
Y'all are great communicators when it comes to talking to the children and other people and relating things per se from your spouse.
Non-emotional.
Yeah, there you go.
Non-emotional.
We come from a more like this is what it is, mm-hmm. and y'all come from where I feel it should be this way. Or I feel you should have said this to me. I hate when a woman said, I feel you should have said it this way.
Okay.
It's like
that goes back to showing somebody how to treat you. That's a real thing. You can be operating in a way that is not okay for the person that's in your life presently.
But if you've been with me, first of all, here's the thing.
I'm just saying, that's what we're talking about, Aunt Jean. You see how that effective communication?
So Aunt Jean, I see it this way. A lot of times when women tell me, well, I felt you should have said it like this.
Okay.
But they don't communicate like that. So one thing was
that sound like that was a question. That sound like you asked what's wrong.
No.
Because that's how we would respond. I feel like.
Because what's wrong with the way when you asked me a question, mm-hmm. I responded direct and said, that's not how it is. Mm-hmm. It goes like this. Then they would say, well, I feel, and then now I'm like, listen, it don't go like that. Now they like.
You hear this, Aunt Jean?
I think men are just hard to understand. That's what I think.
That can be true.
They feel like we hard to understand.
That can be true.
That's true, but we only.
But that goes back to what Carissa said. Men and women speak two different languages. Right.
Definitely different. So I said being clear and concise, and this is how it started. They're saying that women are not clear and concise. I disagree. I disagree. I feel like we are.
Carissa said it's expectations is what Carissa said.
Mm-hmm.
And women have more expectations than men do.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
You said women have more expectations?
Yes.
Well,
What you think, Aunt Jean? Do women have more expectations than men do?
I think that goes both ways.
It's gonna be a straight yes or no, huh?
So they want the yes or no. They want the yes
or no. That proves the point, though.
Right. That proves the point. You can women listen. Even in picking their mate, women have all this long list of what's what.
Okay, I can agree with that. I think
it's a whole lot, but those are part of expectations.
It is an expectation.
And then the expectations of the percentile, what they're looking for, is not even there.
It's not. And it may not be what they possess either.
Exactly.
And so, Aunt Jean, do you talk with your hands?
I talk in any way I have to get my message across.
She said, I got my pistol. I talk through my pistol.
So you my dear?
Whatever it takes to get my message across, because I don't like being misunderstood.
Okay. Would you say you're assertive, passive, aggressive, or passive aggressive?
It depends on what mood I'm in.
Right on.
It depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you have to pick your battles when you're dealing with a man, because men can be very sensitive.
Mm. Oh, that's true. We do.
Very
We
sensitive.
that goes to my next point of watching your tone, and so my assertiveness sometimes need to come down to a nice, soft, smiling when I talk conversation.
See, that's so condescending to me. I swear to
How?
God, because you wasn't like that when you approached the situation. Women are, so,
I can be that way and it's not taken.
but in this quick, you like, look, I'm just saying. No, it didn't start
So
like that.
you can't correct your behavior?
That's condescending.
Oh, wow.
In most cases, when you know your mate, when you know your mate can go here,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden you just bring
He's
it
saying
down
here.
Then you bring it down here. It looks like now you
Like I started something,
No.
I hit you and then I ran.
So you being condescending because you're acting like now you're more intelligent than I am.
What?
You bringing more intelligence to the situation, right?
Wow.
He's speaking from a man's point of view.
I'm telling you, like all
Okay.
of a sudden when I first came in, it was this.
Okay. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And then it came down to, well, I'm just saying, honey, because.
Condescending.
Really?
All
Okay.
get out.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling, Jean.
Keep that same energy.
Exactly. Ain't that what y'all say? Keep that
Keep that same energy.
So,
All right. So Carissa Carter said it's expectations. She said we do, and she said unrealistic expectations.
unrealistic expectations on what?
This is one of her comments. So we have been talking. So I.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it could have been whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So watching your tone. Okay, so I can start off really nice, and that is my demeanor.
Now, if you start off nice, now see, I thought we was talking about in general.
No, I'm saying you can start off that way, and then you may come here, but then you come back. You got to watch your tone. Watching your tone is proactive. You got to watch it.
You do
so you
have-
can be like, look, and then you're like, wait. I'm just saying, right? So how is that condescending when I'm watching myself?
Not you checking yourself immediately, but when you know your partner. I'm talking about when you talking about people in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So when you know your partner is on level 6 already. Already, right?
Okay.
6 out of what? 6 out of 100? 6
10.
out of a 10.
6 out of 10.
Okay.
Is Aunt Jean still on there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
thanks for calling, Aunt Jean. I'm sorry we had you down. Was you saying something?
No. I can hang up and let somebody else have the line.
Okay,
right.
thanks for calling.
Okay, baby.
Thanks,
Tell
Auntie.
that guy he got to take a chill pill and relax.
he can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Auntie
young man,
Jean.
you got to take a chill pill and relax. You got to know what the temperature of a woman is before you approach her, and maybe you can get more out of her.
But what if we swimming in the same water?
If you're swimming in the same water, you got to agree on what temperature you want to be in.
Right. So again, like I said before in our past relationship talks on other shows, men compromise more than women.
Now wait a Holy Ghost
Stay
minute.
on
Now,
your
you're
script
supposed to
now. You
compromise.
got a lot of
You're
information to
supposed
get
please
through.
the woman. That's your job.
Huh?
Your job is to please the woman. So, happy woman is a happy home.
But a
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, but a happy
Yeah.
spouse makes a happy house, and the woman is not the leader of the relationship, and she is a help meet. So you got to meet me somewhere. Thank you.
You know
Wait a
what?
minute,
Don't drop the mic
That's
on my
not
auntie.
necessarily the case, my young man. The woman controls the house. She let y'all think y'all doing it. And in certain instances, you do control the house. But now, a man don't. We run the house. You don't run nothing.
Okay. All right. No,
All
I'm
right,
stopping
no,
you
all right, I
right
got
here.
you. Cut.
Cut. That's it. Thank you, auntie.
Thank you, Auntie.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
He think he about to go in.
No, I'm about to go in. No, I respect. Because
All right.
I do know the woman set the tone of the house. However,
We're talking about communication being key.
Right, we're talking about communication.
Yes.
So in communication, again, then it's a problem, and this is a problem in our community. Majority of women are led to believe that they're the head of the household.
No, they're not led to believe. A lot of them are.
No, they're not.
They are. So
When
they
a-
have somebody.
When a man is in the house, she's not the head of the household. We're talking about communication between two people,
Yeah.
man and a woman. So,
No fighting here, buddy. Okay? No fight with that one. Practice active listening is the next thing I want to talk about. Practicing active listening. A lot of times when two people trying to talk, you will not get anything accomplished.
Listening to respond.
Yeah.
Right, I get
Listening
that.
just to say, look, I'm just saying, like, that's how you know when you talking before the person finish, or you trying to think about what they gonna say, or your mouth moving, you saying they words, like, just listen. A lot of times you don't even need a response, and that's, I had to learn that the
Well,
hard
sometimes
way.
when men be having our lips moving, we be praying like.
Boy,
we really be praying.
Boy, bye.
We really be praying for that one because, I mean, communication.
No.
Communication.
Not.
Communication in our household, in our diaspora culture, in our diaspora, it's like it's not taught.
It's not. This is something you have to get on your own journey with.
Yeah.
Seriously. And that goes to the next thing, building your emotional intelligence to have hard, uncomfortable conversations. This is the hardest, okay? When you have somebody that may not be emotionally intelligent, and that doesn't mean I'm up here and you down here.
That's a loaded phrase, emotionally intelligent. Because if you say that to someone, that could come off as being offensive.
That's what I said. You
Right.
can't be like, oh, I'm up here, you down here. That means you just haven't done the work. That means you may not be taking accountability for, different things, or you don't see different things the way you should about yourself. So that comes with your emotional intelligence. So if you say something about me and I'm like, well, yeah, you might be right about that. Or no, I don't agree with that. Having that intelligence to not be like, oh, I done fell out with you now because you told me something and it's hard to deal with. We've had hard conversations, and I've had to deal with some things like, oh, well, I didn't think about that. Or, we have hard conversations, but then you still have to talk after that. We're talking about communication being key and how important it is. It's important to know your style, your strengths, and your weaknesses. So you saying you like to let it cook, as Carissa say. You like to let it cook. I like to deal with it right then and there. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, because I don't think that makes anybody right or wrong. I just think people have to, and I guess in this new day and age, you have to do what's right for you.
For sure.
Because if letting it cook might be the best thing, because you may want to deal with it directly, and you may be dealing with an emotional intelligence and coming off. But if I'm not at your level, or we're not on the same wavelength, that may cause me to explode and come off and say something I regret.
Yeah.
And I find that most men are emotionally non-available because of conflict.
Yeah.
And because
it go like boom.
so it don't go boom.
Right.
Like,
That makes sense.
And so when you're emotionally unavailable, the woman say, "See, that's it. You just don't feel nothing. You don't hear me. You don't feel what I'm saying. You don't."
That's what they doing.
And yeah,
Oh,
and you be sitting there like, "It's not that. I don't want to argue with you."
right, because there is HE double hockey sticks to pay.
All the
And
time.
it might go to a level that you don't want it to go to.
Now the kids get to eat before me. I mean,
I don't
get the big piece of chicken, and I'm upset.
And you eating on a paper plate.
Now you eating the chicken leg, one chicken leg, getting the bottom of it.
The broke leg. So
The broken wing. What is
it's crazy.
So I hope if it's some women listening, we do hear our men out. I can't tell you what you're saying is wrong, how you saying is wrong. Nothing we saying is right or wrong. Again, we are all
y'all wrong.
We in this together. Everybody's on their own journey, but we're passing through. We passing through. You may have somebody to tag along, do life with, for the most part. And that's why some things you just shouldn't fight about, right? If a person just not there, it's no reason to try to beat people over the head to do it. I'm telling you, I feel like a person should show you how to treat them. Because why would we sit here and, I'm doing things, banging my head upside the wall because you constantly mad, but all you got to say is, I don't like that. Or don't talk to me this way. It makes me feel like this. Oh, okay, now I know. But, if you keep doing certain things and you're not letting people know, hey, that offends me, or I don't think that's funny. It's okay to tell people these things. We're talking about effective communication and ways to improve it. Acting out of impulse can bruise your relationship. It oftentimes, you can't really convey what you really mean because you acting out of impulse versus You can think about things. I definitely think about. I'll pause in a
You
minute.
let it cook.
No, I'll pause before I say something.
Let it cook.
But I don't want to go home and go to sleep with it because I would wake up with it.
So I mean, so you have to respect that people are different,
For sure.
right?
That's what I mean.
And so what I'm saying, a lot of times, you maybe want to deal with it right then, but that person may not be able to deal with it at that point.
For sure.
Right? Because you say emotion and impulse, and some people may only be able to tell their true feelings when it's out of impulse. I think that can be a situation with me. I may not be able because to simmer and let it sit to the next day. It's like, well, why bring up something to argue about something else? I don't look at it as communicating. It's like because it's a difference of opinion. It may cause an argument. So I'm like, hey, why ruin the day with something that happened yesterday? Right, and then then
it's gonna add up.
Then it builds up.
Then
and
you're gonna put it in the jelly bean bottle.
And then it comes through. So some people may, and I think I may be guilty of that. And I'm gonna say some. I think I may be guilty of not being able to deal with.
Hey, Rita.
Deal with my emotions until it builds up.
Okay.
Right.
That's a real
Because a lot of times, for a guy to say, "Hey, I don't like the way they make that feel." If I said that to Miles, he'd look at me sideways like, "Bruh." You know what I mean? Because that's not how men communicate. It's easier for a woman to say, "Hey, I don't like the way that make me feel," than a brother to say, "Hey, I don't like the way that make me feel," because that makes you seem kind of
go ahead. I'm listening.
Soft in a sense.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So you can't say, "Brother, don't talk to me like that"?
What you mean?
Like if he said something to you,
he said, "Brother, I don't like the way that made me feel."
That's what you said.
So I don't like the way that make me feel, or how would you say it? If somebody says something to you,
so if I say, "Don't talk to me that way," if I say that, then that could defend him to make it say, "Well, who you talking to?" Right? Yeah. So you have to.
So how would you guys build those boundaries?
You had to basically check the temperature of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's different for different.
Look at the body language and because so I can say, "Hey man, don't talk to me like that, bro," and he might be like,
"Oh, my bad."
He can be, but in some
he might not.
He might not. But when this the problem I really believe in communication between man and woman is that if we supposed to know each other, it shouldn't be no problem. If you know I'm not a great communicator, but we got this far. Continue to go, and you still have to pull the strings even further or more.
Right, you may have to be a little bit salty in your approach if you know your your
So,
partner's not a good communicator.
That ain't how it is. If once I have a friend of mine, they got married like 2 years ago. They was together for 6, then got married on the 7th.
Yeah.
When they got married, she felt like, things should change. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It is an expectation. Once you get married, there is an expectation that women have. It's imaginary. I can't tell you why.
Right. But
it is there.
But they've been married. They've been together. I mean, they've been together.
Yes.
Living in the same
when you
household
married, you feel like it's going to be different.
5 years.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm the same person. Now that we married, now you want to change the tiles on the floor, change the color of the bathroom, change the kitchen.
There is a
and me and our basic, and in our head we like, why?
So talking about communication in relationships, respecting each other in relationships, just want to point out a few things. If you are just joining, we are talking about effective communication because nobody's going to read your mind. Okay. Nobody. Don't expect a person to read your mind.
Communication is actually, it's really tough. Now that we talk, it's a tough thing. It's really tough.
It can be complex.
Can I give a shout out to these people right quick before you go on? Sharita Franklin said, "Hey, I hate that men feel that way." And Gene Kennedy said, "What do you mean, Stephen? Let it cook." When you say "let it cook," you may have missed the beginning of the show. We was talking to Carissa Carter straight from Flint Town. She was saying "let it cook" and the meaning of she would walk away from the situation and think about it.
Yeah.
For a while, whether it be overnight and then come back, meaning that let it simmer, let her digest it, because if she addressed it at that point, it may come off in a hostile situation. Yeah. So that's what it means by let it cook.
So with the last few minutes, I do want to talk about respecting each other in relationships and what that looks like when we're talking about communication, effective communication, having uninterrupted conversations. A lot of times people are on their phones, or they are being dismissive, or they talk and they're in another room. I think it's best to have a conversation where you are looking each other in the face. A lot of times touching is good. You know, just having your hand in hand.
Yeah.
That's a form of really good communication, because if you look at it, and if you're married, that's your world. That's your home. Like, that's your kingdom. You have nothing to prove in that moment. And so just having those communications to say, you know what, we cutting out everything else and we're going to have this talk. I think that is effective. Using the I statements and not you statements, that can be a problem. You know, eyes, you got to be careful when using those. Taking breaks before finishing heated discussions. Is that something that works for you, to be able to say, you know what, let's go eat, you know, and then talk about it after you got a little something in your stomach, you know, you're a little hangry, something going on, but being able to just come back or talk at that time, being able to focus on one topic. We was just talking about that, dropping them jelly beans in there and you just letting it pile and pile and pile up. Talk about things when it happened. Try to, at least. Just so you don't have to walk around with any heavy burdens. I believe that God brought us here to live life and live it more abundantly. And so that comes along with being in control of yourself, having self-control, saying, hey, this is my life, my world. I'm going to do it the way I want, and loving and treating somebody else. If you bring somebody else into your world, it is some compromising that needs to take place. Jumping to conclusions. A lot of times we can jump, okay? As women, we can jump. We can create stories and timelines and everything else. So we got to definitely be careful with that. Men as well. And then the silent treatment, being a deadly killer. Honey, if we both can do that real good, that's a problem. So we're talking about effective communication. You definitely want to be careful with that. And make sure you have clarity, you know, and correctedness and courtesy and consideration with your communication, because that's important too. Communication challenges, you know, a few more things when dealing with healing. You have a lot of people that haven't done their healing work. Doing your healing work is dealing with the dark side of things that have happened to you, not dragging it along in bags and suitcases to every relationship and situation you're in. That means dealing with it. That means having that hard conversation with your elder, your family member, your parent, anybody that hurt you in a way and never knew. This is the time to be able to free yourself. This is the time to liberate yourself, to have those hard conversations with those people, not take it out on the next person that comes into your life and it's hard to love you because you haven't closed that door and you haven't done that healing work. So that's important. You know, effective communication is useful, again, for every single part of your life. This is not just for relationships. This is every part of your life. So paying bills, parenting, marriage, work, friendships, literally everything. You know, you can have people calling you. I know back in the day, they used to talk about, we was at church and he was like, if they call you to pay the bill, answer the phone. Stop telling people you ain't there and lying. And, you know, so you gotta just have open communication. Let people know, look, I don't have it. Let me set something up. Or, you know, you ain't gotta run from nobody. You don't have to run from any conversation, any type of engagement, because this is your world. People are just passing through. And once you know that, you know the control that you will have. So I would say be mindful, be prayerful, and intentional, and definitely create the space you want to be in. Create it. You want to leave something about communication, brother?
Yes, I do. So Sharita Franklin said, how does a relationship really last if communication isn't a key factor? Also, Gene Kennedy said, sometimes silence is golden.
Yeah, that silence can, yeah.
And then she said, Gene Kennedy also said, pick your battles. Miss Sharita Franklin, straight from 140. She said, you have to also know your partner
for sure,
and how they react to in certain uncomfortable conversations, and respect that.
And don't trigger.
And I can say,
good job, Sharita Franklin.
Thank you for that. People have relationships with ineffective communication because the only thing they have is a sexual bond. And so if you are physical, more than you spend quiet time, personal time, or a lot of time together, then you won't know about effective communication. You'll know how it's not effective when you start spending more time and less time being physical. And that's in relationships and marriages as well. Because if both of y'all busy, you work nights, he work mornings, you know, COVID, everybody went crazy because they had to spend time together. They had to communicate. You know, they had to be together. A lot of times, a lot of marriages, people are work mornings, work nights, in and out, and the time they have is physical. So we have to, I would say, actively and again, intentionally work on that effective communication. And knowing your partner is definitely the case when it comes to relationships. But in any and everything, effective communication is good. When you go out to eat, effective communication. This is not what I order. You can be pleasant. You know, when you don't have the service that you think you should be getting rendered, you can have that conversation. Hey, I want to speak to your manager. This is not okay. I'm spending my money here. We need to have effective communication. I think it will build and create a lot of accountability that we see a lot of people don't have now. But thank you guys so much for joining. This is such a good conversation. Thank you, Miles, for stepping in and having a conversation with us. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you. And I agree with Sharita Franklin with that. You have to know your partner.
For sure. You got to know what you got. You have to.
I respect that. And I appreciate that, Sharita. See you tomorrow.
Yes. Peace out. Meet me here.